Hi, my name is Kevin. Today I'm here with my friends Danny and Sherilyn. I'll be taking them around to shoot some of the hawker center in New Lane, and we'll be covering shots of the hawker food stalls as well as the hawker food itself. Okay? So from what we can see here, right, we can see that in the outside stalls, you have a lot of noisy background because there are a lot of people moving about. So things which you can do actually to improve on your shots are focusing on the details of the little stalls itself, things like the wok, the ingredients itself. So things like, this one is good, this is a good shot of all the fish, things like the can. Yeah. You can take all the details. You can take pictures of the people selling as well, that they are actually cooking. I think you all will find difficulty under low light condition. So what you can do is you can boost up your ISO, open up your aperture if you want. But normally for in this case, if you want to take more of the shots, then you boost up your ISO. You can use ISO 800, 1006, okay? And then you can shoot at faster shutter speed so that you don't get any blur pictures. So normally how we take food shots with so many food, so much food in front of us is, if you take a total picture, it looks very ugly. Yeah. You don't get to isolate the photo. So what you can do is you can actually rearrange, make some rearrangements, okay? So things like you want to shoot this first, then you rearrange in such a way that your things are all layered background so that you can focus on this first. And you shoot at a lower angle. You shoot at a lower angle to capture this in front, and you bokeh out the back. Okay?
And focus on this.
Yeah, you can focus on this instead of the background. You focus on this, then you bokeh out. So you get to see all these are bokeh out. This is more obvious already.
But still get to see the other food.
Correct. And what you can do next is, you go one step further. You can actually shoot part of the food itself. You don't have to shoot the whole thing. Previously you've taken everything, so still a bit noisy. But if you were to take just part of the food, you don't need to take the whole plate. Then you get a better composition. Okay. Similarly, you can do a top-down shoot. So for example, you want to arrange in such a way for your, let's say the satay, right? You do a top-down shoot whereby your frame only captures this part. It takes the ingredients, the 3 ingredients, as well as the main ingredient itself. So similarly, you can shoot the rest in similar fashion. Either you bokeh out, or you take top-down, okay? Or you can even have things in the middle. One in the foreground, one in the middle, and one in the background. But you only focus on the middle one, so that the front one is bokeh, back one is bokeh.
Alright, try and see.
Yeah. Well, I've seen that you have changed to the 50mm lens. Okay, so that's why you get better image separation from the bigger, larger aperture. So good, some of these shots are very good because you have isolated your subjects, so this is good. Okay, great. So you, other than what you have taken, you can try top-down shots because you have already taken the, like what I mentioned just now.
Okay, side angle.
Side angle, part of the food and not the whole plate itself and all that. So yeah, overall it's good. Okay. This shot is good. Okay. I would like to thank you all, Danny, Sherilyn, for joining me today in this shoot. We have covered things on ISO, we have covered things on composition, shutter speed, as well as night shooting in the street.
Yeah, I learned a lot, especially on the composition. It makes the picture look really different.
ISO also helpful because that will help us to get clear picture instead of like handshake, under the downlight.
For the rest of you guys out there, stay tuned to the Just Like a Pro series, and you'll see more episodes coming out in the future. Thanks a lot. This kind of situation or this type of setting you can actually apply to night pasar malam, you can apply to street shoots at night, and you can also apply to parties or barbecues at the garden or anything like that. To set the ISO, you actually press the ISO button here on the camera itself, and you just turn the dial over here, okay? And you will be able to set the ISO to, for night shooting, you can either set it to ISO 1006 or 3002 in order to use available light for your pictures rather than to use a flash. For the aperture, right? There are two modes you can use. You can actually use aperture priority, whereby you can set your aperture using the same dial without having to press any more buttons. Or if you are in manual mode, right, you will use dial over here to set the aperture, and then the dial over here to set the shutter speed. So most of the time for users who are just starting off, you'll be using aperture priority. So you can set the aperture alone, and the camera will then decide for you what shutter speed to shoot at. But always bear in mind, if your shutter speed is too low, your pictures are going to come out blur. And how you can compensate that is either to open up the aperture. That means you actually have aperture open wider. So things like, if you have fast lenses like aperture 1.8, then you can shoot at 1.8, you can shoot at 2.0 or 2.2. But if your lenses only allows you 3.5 to 5.6, then you have to deal with that situation shooting at the aperture and boost up your ISO to compensate for the shutter speed.